Kivi Bernhard is regarded as one of the up-and-coming leadership speakers on the global business speaking circuit. He's also the US-based author of a best-selling book, Leopardology: The Hunt for Profit in a Tough Global Economy. And he joins me now. Thanks for joining us on the program, Kivi.
Thank you, Peter.
So, Kivi's not a traditional American name. So where are you from?
Originally from South Africa.
Yeah.
Relocated to the United States. We live in Atlanta, Georgia, about 17 years ago.
Okay. So tell us about the book first, Leopardology: The Hunt for Profit in a Tough Global Economy.
Right. So leopardology, Peter, was really born out of my passion for Africa and its wildlife, and it is a synthesis of my business experience, having relocated from Johannesburg, South Africa to the United States some 18 years ago, and establishing my business. I'm in the diamond business, actually. Yeah. And
gee, it's unusual for an South African to be in diamonds.
You had to either be a doctor or in the diamond business, otherwise they basically shoot you. Yeah. So, you know, and my passion and love for Africa and its wildlife, and leopardology is really the synthesis and the journey that you know, I experienced building my business one client at a time in an absolutely tough, competitive, marginalized market space that really had no need for me.
So the idea is that a leopard, excuse my lack of you know, African animal knowledge, but are very good hunters.
Leopardology explores critical lessons gleaned from the bush to the boardroom. The African leopard is actually the most successful feline predator on Earth. It has a 76% close rate, meaning it closes 3 out of 4 client options that it pursues. And what leopardology does...
involuntary clients we're talking about here, aren't we?
Right. What leopardology does is it critically analyzes how it actually does what it does. And I have the privilege and the honor of sharing leopardology with sales and strategic leadership teams through speaker bureaus that I work with across the globe.
Give us a classic example of how leopardology has helped you nail a client.
So, for example, positive predatory pillar, there are 6 of them, known in some of the MBA schools as predatory proficiencies. Positive predatory pillar number 3 submits study your competitor predator. Now this is a fascinating phenomena, Peter. Leopard will actually spend 30 to 40% of their daylight hours studying competitor predators. Lion, hyena, cheetah. It's a 2-phase program. First of all, who are your competitors? A critical analysis. Competitors are not one size fits all. You really have to make a deep analysis precisely of who your competitor actually is.
Right.
Once you've done that, you need to spend time studying their hunting methodology. How do they actually hunt? And there's a fundamental principle of leopardology, and that is this. It used to be thought that leopards studied their competitors in order to simply rob competitors of their clients. Much easier to simply rob a client from, someone's gone into the market space and vested interest.
Price cutters do that, don't they?
Exactly. That's actually not the intention at all. What it does is it defines their particular opportunity. And here's the principle. What works for your competitor, by definition, does not work for you. You're not a duplicator, you're an innovator. If you are not coming to the market with a fresh, energized, original, entrepreneurially energized offer, you're simply waiting to be hunted out by a bigger, larger competitor. This is a fundamental principle. It was a key turning point for my
So does it mean that the business leader who is always looking for innovation is not complacent, knows that they've got a head start, but will not be complacent about that head start, but try to extend the lead? They're the sort of business leaders we should be investing in if we're, for example, shareholders.
Without question of a doubt. To be able to pinpoint and sort of finger touch business leaders, organizations, companies, associations that are trading inside of a space of innovative and creative offering.
Yeah.
It's very easy to sort of launch back on historic performance, but if that brand is not a dynamic entity as opposed to a static historic performer, it's actually a red flag that things are about.
You're reminding me of a company called Seek.com in this country, which is our best recruiter, going overseas, going to China, and all that sort of stuff, always going to the new levels and defying exceptionally high PEs. All right, so what is the DNA? One of the things I picked up in picking, not reading all your book, but was that you're kind of honing in on the DNA of success. So we haven't got much time left, but give us in a nutshell, what is your take on the DNA of success?
So leopard are actually a solo solitary hunter. They don't have the huge corporate conglomerate resources of the lion pride. You know, 7, 9, 13, 18, 27, 29 in a pride. And yet, Peter, they have such an exponential close rate. Their single biggest competitor are lion. Leopard close 76% of all attempted client hunts. Lion close between 52 and 54%. So you know, it's counterintuitive. What sits at the core of that is an absolute commitment to mobilize the entirety of its brand. There is not an element of the total organizational brand known as the leopard machine that is not employed and deployed on the hunt. In our
Example. We're talking about its eyesight.
That's it.
It's speed.
Phenomenal eyesight. It can see with 1/10 of the light that you and I require for pinpoint precision during the day. Its incredible canine teeth, 2 to 2.5 inches, can actually bite through tubular steel, 1.5 inch thick. Its capacity to hear, 500 feet out, you can hear a print in the grass. Its camouflage allows it access to clients within 8 to 12 feet. So here you have all these moving parts inside of its core brand proficiency coming together for a total client acquisition, and then it brings it into its environment.
Okay, Kivi, you must have identified a couple of business leaders in the world that are leopards. Come on, give us one.
Well,
is it Richard Branson, or is it... Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, and I flew in on Virgin.
Yeah.
Richard Branson, without question of a doubt.
Has leopard tendencies, doesn't he?
He lives it, he breathes it, he eats it, he sleeps it.
Yeah.
It's about the space of innovation. You walk into his aircraft, it's the same, you know, engine configuration as competitors in Delta and everyone else in the world. It simply feels different by tiny tweaks of innovation that allow you as a consumer to perceive differentiation.
Okay, one last question to wind me up. You somehow link Crocodile Dundee to Jerry Maguire. How do you do that?
The Wall Street Journal referred to me as Kivi Bernhard, an amalgamation of Crocodile Dundee and Jerry Maguire with a yarmulke.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for joining us on the program, and good luck. I wish I had more time. Thanks for joining us on the program. Okay, after break, resort.